Jeopardy versus Torsen. Tomb Kings and Dark Elves on Peak Past. Conquest. Did you say past? I did, but I'm not restarting the video for that. It's whatever. Whatever, brother. It's just the old slip up. For the Tomb Kings, we have a front line of skeleton warriors and skeleton spearmen. As far as the eye can see, 2 dropped great bows, 2 kitty cats, one of which has Settra the Imperishable riding on it. Protection and Curse Blades, his 2 incantations. Then we have the Sphinx Usef ROR as the second kitty cat. Carrion and Skeleton Horse Archers on the Vanguard. And that is it. On this side, we have a Dark Elf build with a Dragon Lord we're used to seeing, but not this Wind of Magic. Sorcerer of Death. Just Spirit Leech. We do have 4 Dark Shards, a bunch of Bleak Swords and Dread Spears, triple Reaper Bolt Thrower, and a Charybdis, anti-large armor-piercing duelist monster. Since the Tomb Kings have been spamming out their recently buffed kitty cats, I am not shocked that someone would want to take an anti-large duelist. But one is never exactly expecting a Charybdis. Not unless you're John FB. John FB's taking Charybdis out there. Mostly versus demons, but still. So with a Spirit Leech caster, and a Charybdis, and 4 Dark Shards, and 3 Bolt Throwers, surely they can stop the kitty cats. I'm going to fast forward while the armies get in range on this super gigantic map. Both armies are advancing. It is just huge. Dark Riders start to take the point as Ushapti Great Bows rain in. Arrows the size of your fist. Oh, they disappeared unpicked. Couldn't get a cool shot of arrows. Dark Elves start taking the point. Bolt Throwers are in range of the front line, but they don't really want to bother with that, it seems. It seems like they have bigger fish to fry, so they are still just holding their fire till they can get in range of Settra or the Ushapti. A little concerned about these 4 Skirmish Cav on the flanks, when the Dark Elves have 1 Dark Rider that could peel them in the mobility game. Now, you do have 4 Dark Shards that can maybe countershoot, but still. Properly managed Skirmish Cav can be really annoying. I saw some bolts go for these skeletons briefly. Looks like they have Fire Will on, and they're just happy to set up next to the point like this. Say, hey, you're going to have to come in range if you want to take this point back, and if you don't want to take this point back, then we'll just win through the points. Dark Shards are starting to turn outwards to harass away the Skeleton Archers and keep the Bolt Thrower crews as safe as possible. Bolt Throwers, for now, content to fire away at Skeleton Spears. Both Ushapti, both Sphinxes being kept outside the range of the Bolt Throwers. The Skeleton front line is going to take a lot of damage from breath attacks, but also Dark Shards in the meantime. Tomb Kings can't sit on their laurels forever. Bolt Throwers switching on to the Ushapti Great Bows as those guys start to move up and into range. Tomb Kings thought about contesting the point for a minute, but then they instead just attack the front line. And in comes the Dragon Lord. Cause a bit of a problem. Now the carrying the Skirmish Cav are moving back up. The Dark Shards have a lot of things to be aiming at, so we'll see what they prioritize. These Skeleton Horse Archers actually have kind of insane range. Carrion get into the back line and harass down the Dark Elf Bolt Throwers so that the Ushapti Great Bows can advance mostly uncontested. Just trying to get in range there. So they can start firing back. Skirmish Cav still getting some shots in, but really not too much effective damage coming out of those guys. Skeletons mobbing the front line of Dark Elves, trying to get through. Cannot quite find a gap in their formation to really abuse, but the Double Cats are here. Here comes the first Spirit Leech of what I imagine is many for Settra, but the Charybdis has a lot of work to do as the only real mass here that could stop Settra. You saw he just rolled through all this infantry without much problem. He's now already on the Reaper Bolt Throwers. But the Necro Sphinx ROR. Sphinx Usef takes the fight to the Charybdis instead. Charybdis is going to run away. Sphinx needs to figure itself out as the Dragonlance and Settra gets a little bit of damage down. Settra does have slow healing from the Tomb King's army passive and from his own lore passive, but not that much healing. So he does need to be careful about taking these fights as the Charybdis get a couple good shots onto him. Setra's trying to run away. Already lost a third of his HP. We do have some Dark Shards rallying and firing over into the Sphinx of Usef for now. They're still carrying, trying to be disruptive. Both the carrion are just about dead. All 4 skirmish cav of the Tomb Kings are on the back line. 1 Reaper Bolt Thrower is shattered. Another is routing. The final is routing, so all the Bolt Throwers are offline while the Ushopti get to fire in freely. Currently shooting at the Dark Shards, but I imagine soon they'll switch onto the Charybdis or onto the Sorceress of Death herself. Dark Elves still ticking up the point, however, and that's not something to be ignored. 200 victory tickets for them already. Charybdis getting harassed by 4 skirmish cav and a Sphinx of Usef chasing them down. Charybdis is not having a good time. Meanwhile, the Dark Elves are focusing entirely on sniping out Settra, just getting any damage onto him they can. They're ignoring the Sphinx of Usef entirely. Want to lower the Tomb King's leadership and, of course, get rid of that Spellcaster. Actually, this is going pretty well for the Dark Sorcerers and the Charybdis. Look at his HP, just tank. 3,800. 3,400. He's getting beat up. He's getting whooped on. Runs away at 3,000 HP. The Charybdis might be not that far behind him. Its leadership is also falling as the Sphinx beats it up pretty badly. It's going to ignore the Sphinx for like the millionth time and just keep after Settra while he chases down some Dark Shards. Ushopti Great Bow's firing away onto the Supreme Sorceress, but actually this one hasn't noticed a Dark Shard creep up and get some sideways shots into it, so good luck, lads. Hope you get a lot of damage out with the time you are afforded. Charybdis gets so close to routing, stays -3 forever, but then turns and fights, getting it back up to 25 leadership. Is this just going to do what damage it can to the Sphinx of Usef on top of Dread Spears? Charybdis will eventually rout. The Tomb King's Ushopti summon is out. Bounce power is slightly Tomb King's favor, but that is with a full health Ushopti. The Charybdis shatters, damn. That is a shame. We have some Dark Shards back, maybe, possibly. The other sneaky Dark Shards that these Ushopti still haven't noticed, taking about half their HP. As Settra continues to get sniped out, there's a Spirit Leech as well. He's down to 1,200 HP. As that Spirit Leech is coming in, that'll probably cause him to start crumbling on his own. While the Undead can't rout, it won't be as noticeable, like, instantaneously. Settra dies and all this stuff breaks. Hooray! But, like, I don't know, there's already stuff with blinking morale bars, or is already crumbling a little bit. This will just make it faster. There goes Settra. He is gone. Tomb King's going to have a rough one. 180 victory tickets left for the Dark Elves to win this game. Can they do it? They are clearing out a lot of Tomb King's infantry. Someone finally noticed the sneaky Dark Shards and these Ushopti start running away. Took a lot of damage. Still have 11 out of 12 bottles, though, so they're pretty impactful. It's just funny how much damage they took from those sneaky Dark Shards. Holy, the Dark Shards got back in range again. You can't keep getting away with it. Other Dark Shards also getting into range. How is this happening? These Ushopti need to back off, like, fully out of range. But they'll keep taking little volleys from these standing armor-piercing archers, probably getting them close enough down that they'll start crumbling. Tickets are still increasing. And the Tomb Kings have a lot of light cavalry left, and these skeleton horse archers that are out of ammo. They don't have a lot of infantry for holding the point, while the Dark Elves like have purely infantry left. I wonder if they just mobbed the point, what would happen? Dark Shard's still firing on the Ushopti Great Bows. 2 ammunition left for this Ushopti, 6 left for the other, to be fair. And they are getting some dying shots off onto the Sorceress of Death, so I guess that's something. Meanwhile, the Sphinx of Usef is running around, causing terror. 100 points left for the Dark Elves to win this game. The Ushopti are starting to crumble, with the Spirit Leech taking them down into that crumbling threshold that is just slow, constant damage they can't avoid. Another one is also getting taken out. And the Sphinx Usef is coming over to say hello, but a crossfire of Dark Shards should seal the fate of both these Ushopti at this point. I don't think either are ever going to rally, so they will just crumble into nothingness on their own. While the Tomb Kings stack up skeleton horse archers to take the point back, running out of time to do so, but they are going to capture it for 70 more tickets proc. Ushopti are dying. They fire a couple final shots at this the Death Sorceress, but not enough. There they go. Ooh, nice breath attack out. Tomb King slightly down on the balance power, but they did finally take the point. Dark Elves are rushing back in with way more infantry than Tomb Kings can handle. And it's all in the Sphinx. Can he get good charges in with his collision attacks and knock enough of these guys out to keep the point? Because if he loses the point, he probably loses the game. There's no way to threaten the Sorceress up in the sky anymore with the Sphinx or anything on the battlefield. There's no ranged attacks. There's no flying units. So she's safe as long as she doesn't land. And the Dark Elves mob the point to start capturing it again. We do have some Tomb King's holdouts. Skeleton Warriors trying to keep a grip on the point. But it does trade hands again. Dark Elves once again ticking up. They need 53 seconds of control of this point to win. A rear charging from the Skeleton Horse Archers while there is a big terror-causing kitty cat running rampant through your lines. Not a great time to be a Dark Elf. One of them starts terror routing. And you can get a chain reaction of just like nearby allies routing, so I'm going to rout, and then I'm going to rout, and then I'm going to rout. And all these guys start terror routing. All of them are leaving the point. 32 seconds left on the point. There, they have all turned into a natural rout, except for that one spearman. There we go. All of the infantry are natural routing from the Dark Elves. Tomb Kings are trying to take the point. They're taking it so slowly. They have 20 seconds left to take it. They have 3 nearly dead. Well, 2 nearly dead, 1 regular cavalry on the point. The Sphinx Usef's coming back to the point to charge the Supreme Sorceress of Death. Dark Elves have nothing here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 500 tickets. The Dark Elves will win, but look at how close that is to being captured by the Tomb Kings here. That is GG. Capture point mattered. Capture point mattered. I don't know if the Tomb Kings would have won from there like 100 times out of 100, but they were definitely coming back into their own. Now, I mean, if this lady had maybe a couple more Spirit Leeches up her sleeve, which probably she did, she could have just kited the Sphinx Usef from the air, but you never know. Mixed value across the Dark Elf roster. The Reaper Bolt Throwers are all shut down really easily, but 3,100 value on a non-Soul Stealer caster is always a treasure to see. Even if it is just Spirit Leeches, still Dark Elves just don't usually do that, so I'll take it. GG. Roar.
Subscribe, yes, yes.